Hello and welcome to Soul-Based Craft and Creations. I am Louise and today is the 5th of July. Now, I am recording this on the 5th of July a little bit late because of, as I explained in the If It's Sunday video, I couldn't do recording last week when I originally planned to do so. One, because I hadn't managed to do the work that I had planned to do. And two, I had the grandson coming, so it meant I couldn't do my recordings as normal. So this is a little bit late, but here is my Craft Yourself Free for June. What is Craft Yourself Free? Well, it's the brainchild of Sam from Manford's Makes and Christina, get my teeth in properly, Christina from Bella Uncinetto. So what is it? Well, they, a couple of years ago, got together to decide on making themselves accountable for the things that they they do for their channels. Well, not just for their channels, for themselves. But rather than it just being strictly what they crochet or it's going to be all crafts in all forms of crafts, whether it's cooking, gardening, book reading, anything that makes them feel happy is included in how they do their figures. It doesn't matter how you do your figures, whether you're doing it by weight, by a number of items, number of books, whatever. It's you're keeping a record of what you're doing, how you're doing with what you do. Also, there is no strict thing where it's got to be something from your stash, something that you've had stored for a certain length of time. No, you could literally go out, buy the book. Let's say you're doing a book. You could go out and buy the book in the morning and read it in the afternoon or evening. And if you've read it, completed it, it can be put in your figures. Or like me, in my If It's Sunday video, I've opened a Wool Warehouse yarn haul. Now, thankfully, not all of that is for me, but some 2/3 of it is definitely mine. So I could have bought all of that and then sometime this afternoon do whatever and use it. And I've used, say, a ball of yarn. Well, I can already mark that off. Even though I've only just opened it, it's still valid as being able to be used. Now, we're all doing it differently. Each of us have their own way of keeping track of what they're doing. Some are keeping track of yarn bands, some are keeping track of whatever, however it is, they're keeping track. And the way it is, you're saying you're crafting yourself free. Well, you're crafting to make the things because you enjoy making them, but you're also using up and making yourself free of your stash, which then gives you the opportunity to put more into your stash if you need to. Now, I generally buy my yarns for projects specifically. Some yarns, yes, they go up in this wall, but I work from this wall straight away. Some of my Monday makes that I'm making for the blankets, I'm using what's in this wall plus what's in my scrap bin. But what's in my scrap bucket. But the scrap bucket comes from this wall. So as this wall there is a couple here that this light yellow here is getting close to the point of it's not going to stay in this scheme for very long. It's going to get to the point where it's going to need to be balled up into a small ball. This blue one here, can I get to it? To this, going wrong direction. That one. This one here is near on ready for me to just put into a small ball and put in my scrap bucket. So when I've used up it, and it's not, because not very many of these ones are full balls that are up there now. They've been part used, and as they get part used, as they get further down, they go in my scrap bucket, and then when they come out, they get used from. It gets used from the scrap bucket first. And if I haven't got the colours in the scrap bucket, it comes from the wall. So my yarn is used in constant all the time. So where am I going? Where was I going with that? I don't know. Anyway, so basically I purchase yarn specifically for projects and use them, and then eventually when I've not got so many projects to work on, eventually I will probably buy to have a yarn stash for me to do whenever I feel like making something. So at the moment I have many projects that I'm making. So anyway, I will be showing pictures up here as I have done for the last couple of months. I've found that is the easiest way of me showing off what I have made throughout the month. One, because either the stuff has already been gifted or passed on to like my grandson, or it's been boxed ready for, I like in my Monday makes and my Tuesday ones, it's waiting for me to put together into blankets, and then once they're all in blankets, it'll be ready to go to charity, whichever charity they go to. So let's start. I will go through it segment by segment, and then we'll work from there. So my magazine makes Mondays. I am making blankets for charity. Haven't yet decided what charity they will be going to. They were originally going to Boggy Creek. But now it's become too expensive for me to send them. So they won't be going to Boggy Creek unless the less postage comes down. So I will probably find a charity either local to me or a charity here in the UK to send them to. So I am using on my magazine makes Monday, I'm using several publications that I am using for stitches or squares or motifs and putting them together into blankets. So for June, I made a total of 15 motifs and 6 segments. Now the segments is where I'm putting stitch patterns together in strips, and then the strips there's before strips put together to create a blanket. So 5 segments and 15 motifs, totaling 252 grams or 8.89 ounces. When I complete the blankets, I don't include the figures of the items that I've made prior. just what I use to join it together that go in the figures. But once it's complete, I then weigh the blanket as a whole and then subtract what has gone into it. So that was my Mondays. Tuesdays is at the moment, my Tunisian Tuesday. I also do knitting now on Tuesday every other week, especially now that I am close to finishing all of the Tunisian stitches that have been released on the 4 channels that I'm using, which are Jayda in Stitches, Nina's Knots Crochet, TL Yarn Crafts, and MDL Crochet. Anybody that I mention, I will link in the description box below. So, I have been, most of it has been stitch samples rather than motifs. There has been a few motifs, but most of it's stitch samples. I've been putting them into segments, and during the month of June, I did 12 segments, which totaled 112 grams or 3.95 ounces. Like I say, I'm near the end. I've got to show the ones that I've picked out last time, a couple of weeks ago. And then the last 3 stitches will be going into the blanket as I complete the blanket. So I might actually show a video of me putting it together and then putting in those ones, and gradually as I'm putting it all together, because I'm going to try and learn a new technique of putting them together. The first blanket I did with Tunisian, I did just normal crochet, but there might be a way that I can do it a Tunisian way so that it stays as all Tunisian. I'm hoping that's going to be the case. So that was my Tuesday ones. Wednesday, I have 2 segments on a Wednesday. Again, like Tuesdays is the knitting and Tunisian. Now, I haven't completed anything yet in my knitting, so that there's no figures for my knitting in there at the moment. But my Wednesdays, I have work on a whip Wednesday and I have woobling Wednesday. Now, the work on my whip Wednesday, which as it sounds is just working on one of my whips. Now, the only one that I managed to complete for June was the duster cardigan for my daughter, which I just about managed to complete in time for her birthday, because her birthday is 2 days before my birthday. So I just about managed to get it completed. Well, that was 669 grams, which was, where are we? Which is 23.6 ounces. And for that, I used up, the right way round, 6 full skeins or balls of the baby cream 4-ply Create. There we go, Yarnsmiths Create Baby 4-ply. Completed. So that's going into my yarn totals. I have also got some other yarn bands that are in amongst the things that I'm making. But as I say, 669 grams, that means I've used completely for, oh dear me. Oh. It's starting to warm up here and I've had to turn the fan off. So it's, like I said, the heat affects me bad. So it's already going straight to my chest. Right. So Thursdays, again, I have 2 segments that I have on Thursdays. One is the diamond art painting. So I completed one of my landscapes. So that is 20 grams or 0.71 ounces. Then we go to my amigurumi Friday. That I completed the beaker, the Bunsen burner and stand. So that's 3 items. They totaled 35 grams or 1.23 ounces. Then we go over to the ones that I'm collaborating, or, well, not collaborating, participating in other craft-alongs. So we have the Woobling Wednesday, which is from Missi, from Missi's Yarniverse and More, Rainee from the Woolly Llama Shop, and Patricia from Yarny Cat Crochet. We originally started it back in September, October last year, and I've been picking out and making the versions of the makes that they made. I've also started during June joining in with Sam from Manford's Makes on her Manford's Mini Makes. So I have completed 3 woobles, or 3 woobalesque, shall I say, items, and 4 of the mini makes. So those totaled 128 grams or 4.52 ounces. Then we go over to Duck Dishcloth, which also is a brainchild of Missi from Mrs. Yarniverse and More. We're nearly finished. We've only got, I think, 9 or 10 more left to go. So we're nearly finished. We're nearly at the end. But I managed to complete 4 of the dishcloths. So they totaled 124 grams or 4.37 ounces. Now, I've not completed other projects. The spring cowl one, I had hoped to get finished by the 20th of June. Didn't quite finish it, but I'm still in process of making. So I will not do that total until I do complete it all. I've got to remember, I am so forgetful with sending photos and I've got to send photos of the mini makes to Sam. I've got to send photos to Missi for the dishcloths. And I keep forgetting to send photos to Rainee of all the other things that I need to send photos over to for me to be earning my patches. So come on, brain, get into gear. Let's get on with getting these pictures done. So I've got to remember to do all of this, which I will try and do either later today or certainly within the next few days. I will try and remember to send pictures to everybody that I need to send pictures to. But yes, the spring cowl, although I completed 3 of the items that was needed to get the patch, I haven't completed the big one that I wanted to get done. I do plan on doing some of the other items from the spring cowl because there were so many beautiful projects that I thought to myself, I really want to make that one. Yes, I want to make that one. But I only have so much time to be able to crochet now, to craft. Now, yes, okay, I'm at home. I stay at home all the time. I very rarely go out of my house. But my health is not exactly at the best. I'm going to try and take a sip of tea to see whether this helps with my throat. Oh, it's a little bit better. But I have some serious health problems, which means that I can't literally sit and do as much as I want to do. I'm not that fast a crocheter. I'm even slower with knitting, and I do have other things I have to do as well. So I do my best with what I can. So anyway, so I have a total of 10 yarn bands to add to my yarn band totals for the year, which at the moment I haven't got a clue what they are at the moment because I have not been keeping total record of. I've been keeping a record of what in my sheets, but I'm not actually sort of keeping an eye on it, and I'm seriously thinking of doing a SAM of actually making myself a little bit more accountable on that side of it by keeping a track on what I use and then what I buy in. I definitely buy in more than I use at the moment, but as I say, I generally buy in for projects specifically. So yeah, we will see. Anyway, pardon. So it's either I'm coughing because my throat's dry, or I start getting burps because the tea's going down wrong. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Love and kindness to everyone. Bye for now, and I'll see you all soon. Back again. I just realised I didn't tell you what my full totals were. So go and do that. So the full totals were 1,340 grams, or 47.27 ounces, of which yarn is 1,320 grams, or 46.56 ounces, and 20 grams was the diamond art painting, or 0.71 ounces. So it's not my best, but it's certainly not my worst. I think it's my second best totals for this year. So not too bad considering I wasn't able to do a lot of what I planned on doing. So we'll see what happens in July. But no, there's a few items that I'm trying to get finished. We will see. But anyway, that's it. So this will be put just before the end. So thank you. Bye for now.